I think this minimum unit pricing is a big part of the answer.
So said David Cameron last year. But when it comes to tackling cheap booze in England and Wales, it seems he doesn't have the support he thought he had.
Mr. Speaker, in the light of his U-turn on alcohol pricing, can the Prime Minister tell us, is there anything he could organise in a brewery?
The Prime Minister chose to avoid answering that, but with claims the government's ditched plans for a base price of 45p per unit, he couldn't ignore a question from a former GP.
Whenever alcohol is too cheap, more people die. Will he meet with me for me to urge him and for him to understand the evidence base behind minimum pricing?
We publish proposals, we're looking at the consultation and the results to those proposals, but be in no doubt we've got to deal with the problem of having 20p or 25p cans of lager available in supermarkets. It's got to change.
So a pledge to stop cheap booze being sold, but no real commitment from the Prime Minister to a minimum unit price on alcohol. Even the Cabinet appears split.
It's normal for Cabinet members to have different views on different things. That's what happens when you sit around a table and discuss the way forward. But what everyone wants to do is to look at the Home Office consultation.
The industry hopes that consultation will be used as an excuse to kill legislation.
There's no evidence it would work in the real world, and indeed we think the heaviest drinkers are least responsive to price.
But doctors say they need assurances.
We need to know that this is going to go ahead, because we have to deal as doctors with the tragedy that we see from people who are themselves dying, but equally the tragedy for their families.
Cheap alcohol is often blamed for turning our streets into this. Scotland has already passed legislation for minimum pricing, but because of legal wrangles in the courts, it's yet to be introduced. Another reason why the government here can sit back and wait, even if David Cameron would rather not. Alex Forrest, ITV News, Westminster.